Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess named Snow White. She had skin as white as snow, lips as red as roses, and hair as black as ebony. Her kind heart and gentle nature made everyone adore her except for her stepmother, the queen. The queen was jealous of Snow White's beauty and often asked her magic mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror would always reply, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." However, one day, the mirror answered, "Snow White is now the fairest of them all." Filled with rage, the queen ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and get rid of her. But the huntsman, feeling pity for the innocent princess, let her go and told her to run far away. Terrified and alone, Snow White wandered through the forest until she found a small cottage. Inside, everything was tiny chairs, tiny beds, and tiny dishes. Exhausted, she lay down and fell asleep. That evening, the owners of the cottage returned. They were 7 dwarfs who worked in a nearby mine. Seeing the sleeping princess, they were surprised but quickly took pity on her. When Snow White awoke, she told them her story, and the dwarfs kindly offered her a place to stay. Meanwhile, the wicked queen discovered through her magic mirror that Snow White was still alive. Furious, she disguised herself as an old woman and prepared a poisoned apple. One day, while the dwarfs were away, the queen knocked on the door and offered Snow White the apple. The moment Snow White took a bite, she fell into a deep, death-like sleep. When the dwarfs returned, they found her lifeless and placed her in a glass coffin, mourning her loss. Time passed, and one day, a prince traveling through the forest saw Snow White. Captivated by her beauty, he leaned down and kissed her. At that moment, the spell broke, and Snow White awoke. The dwarfs cheered with joy as the prince and Snow White fell in love. Snow White and the prince returned to his kingdom, where they lived happily ever after, while the wicked queen met her downfall. And so, goodness and kindness triumphed over envy and evil, proving that true beauty comes from within.